Reapers Underground. We hope you survive.
Hey, what's up, my demons? It's Reaper from Reapers Underground, Morgrot Entertainment Network. That's right. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about a special in the Reapers Underground store this weekend. That's right, through Reapers Underground Facebook page. A $30 Reaper special. Better than a blue plate, better than anything else that you can consume. We're talking about you can get the new Reapers Underground t-shirt drawn by the great Johnny Necro of Random Insanity Productions, or you can get a Morgrot Entertainment shirt as well. And along with that, you can get, that's right, a signed copy of Attack of the Corn Zombies. Signed by yours truly, the Big Bad Devil Daddy, and some awesome new all-weather stickers. For $30, all you have to do is message me straight through Reapers Underground Messenger, and I will get you this package shipped out right away. And always remember, stay heavy.
Welcome, my demons, on a Friday night. It has been a long time since we've done the show on a Friday, and it is officially part 2 of Return of the Corn Zombies new cast and crew. If you guys tuned in this past Wednesday, you got to meet the first wave, as I like to call it, of new cast members to the film. But tonight we're going to go ahead and meet some more of them. And we actually have director S.J. Herman in the house tonight, the mastermind behind this whole Corn Zombie universe. But before we start getting into all the introductions and all that shit, this is the time. If you're a zombie fan, or you know a zombie fan, wake up your grandma, your sister, your auntie, your cousin, I don't care who, share it out. Share it anywhere and everywhere there is a zombie lover or a horror lover that you know, so that we can get as many folks in here as possible. Keep in mind, you can ask any questions you want to. Welcome. Hey, Michelle Hefner, how's it going? She says, hi, everyone. Cody, what's going on, man? Don't forget to grab Rebecca so she can get up in here, too. Make sure we're sharing this out. And we're going to be talking about some cool stuff for the upcoming sequel, Return of the Corn Zombies. How is everybody doing tonight?
Pretty good.
Good, man.
Awesome. Some of them are very new to my show, and it's definitely a fun experience here at the Underground, where I highlight the best in underground entertainment across the board. All right, so we talked a little bit with Ann Murda this past Wednesday about how this came about. So I want to ask SJ real quick, did you think, or did you foresee when we were filming the first one, Attack of the Corn Zombies last year, did you think that it was going to blow up the way it did? I mean, on YouTube, over 14K views on this film.
No, not at all. I had no clue that this would take off as high as it did. I mean, it's amazing. And I want to thank everybody for their support because it's been fantastic.
Absolutely. Do you remember what I told you?
I can't remember yesterday. I mean,
And that's okay. I remember telling you after we got done. I think it was the first day. I said, I think you have a classic on your hands, and boom, that's exactly what happened.
yeah,
So, is that what kind of like triggered you to say, "Hey, let's do a sequel"?
yes. Yeah, exactly. That's what happens. Like, you know what? I mean, this thing's taken off. Why not go for it? Make a sequel. I mean, it's tough not to repeat the same thing that happened in the first one. I mean, that's the big challenge right there. Because I just didn't want
Yeah,
to retell the same thing again.
right. Um, so, how did you even come up with the idea for Attack of the Corn Zombies in the first place?
Attack of the Corn Zombie. Actually, I got to give that credit to Beth Metcalf, because she was running around
I
at
knew
the
this one.
corn in
This
the
one
corn while
else,
we were filming. I think it came from somewhere, and she said, "Wouldn't that be
right?
great to do a movie about zombies in the corn?" And there we go. That's how it came up to be.
What we like to call a happy accident,
Exactly. An
and
alcohol infused accident. Yes.
that's right. I've heard about these famous shot parties after rapping. Uh,
After.
oh, my bad. Okay. Hey, Sarah Dolan in the house. She says, hello. JD, what's going on, my brother? Good to see you as always. Um, yeah, so for most of you out there in the Morgrot universe, don't know this, or maybe you don't, or maybe you do. I don't know. SJ is also an author, so a lot of these creations, I think, kind of come from a lot of the writing that he does. And I'll tell you, every story from Disremembered to Splintered Love to Night of the Sorority Babes, all that stuff, you are the mastermind. So when you sat down after saying, okay, Attack of the Corn Zombies was a friggin' hit, where do we take it from here? What was your process?
Well, first you have to go with, you know, this is a few years after the events of the first one. So, I mean, the world's gone to shit. Like Ann said the other day, there's no food.
Literally.
I mean, it's everybody out for themselves, really. And I borrowed maybe from a couple movies and TV shows on this one. I can't say much because I'd give it away.
Right. We don't want to do that. Nothing
Yeah,
wrong with that.
yeah. I mean, like I said, there's no partying, no smoking pot. Even though Chris was disappointed in that, but
He was quite the character the other night. Threw me off a couple of times, and that's hard to do to me. I'm the Lord of frickin' Darkness. Usually
yeah,
nothing shakes me. He threw me
yeah,
a couple of zingers I wasn't ready for.
I feel bad for Chandra, who's got to act with them. And I'm just kidding there, Chris.
Of course, we're just funning you, man. Yeah, so I mean, you have to imagine it's not just to one TV show or film where people, you know, have to either they're with a group that they trust as much as they can to have their back, and of course, you know, the one thing I think everyone is searching for is a place that you can feel safer, you know, during
Yeah.
an apocalypse like this, because, you know, it's a constant threat. It's not going away, no matter how many times you kill these bastards. So, you know, we just keep coming. And I definitely know that Reaper Zombie is ready for our new cast. So let's start talking about each of the new characters we have. So let's start with Chris and Kelsey, since they're a duo at the moment. Tell us a little bit of some of your work, and we'll go from there.
So I'm playing Maggie, and I guess as far as previous work. I worked with SJ and the AcroStar crew last year on Disremembered. And
Such a good.
I've done a few others, mostly around North Carolina because we're in South Carolina. So Illinois was a fun adventure for me last year. Excited to do it again.
Absolutely. How about you, Chris?
I primarily just work with Is This Las Vegas Productions. I just kind of like follow her and work where she works because I like watching her work, you know what I mean? And I think I got lucky to get involved with this group, honestly. I'm really excited for the chance. Oh, we just watched the last Cordon Zombies, and that was a trip.
Yeah, it was definitely a thrill ride for the ages, and I pop up in it throughout. I'm sure you recognized me. I'm like the biggest guy there. Absolutely. We got to eat Jake Yanko, which was a lot of fun. Just an epic scene in that film, because most of my viewers have either downloaded it, streamed it, or bought it. So we're not, giving anything away on that. Obviously, we don't want to give anything away on the new one. But welcome back to the AcroStar family. Honestly, the tightest, kindest, easygoing, everybody is working towards the same goal kind of film family. It's great to be back involved with this project for myself as well. And I guarantee you guys are going to absolutely love it. All right, let's talk to Chloe Lutz for a moment. Let's go ahead and introduce yourself as well.
Hello, I am playing Kathleen within the new Return of the Corn Zombies film. I'm super excited. This is my first time working with AcroStar. Everyone has been so welcoming, very funny. I'm very excited to work with everyone. As for past stuff, I just wrapped a slasher film with Chase Dudley. We wrapped that on Tuesday, got home Wednesday, really early morning. That's called Blood on the Bleachers. Don't know when that'll be out, but probably sometime next year. Don't know. But that one was really exciting. And then I've worked with other directors such as like Paul Allen, Rock Anthony Bates, Madison Craybill, just kind of around the U.S. sporadically. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Paul Allen is definitely one that I would love to work with someday. I love the stuff that he does. Yeah, so I'll definitely be watching out for the project that you did with him. Is it out?
I've done a few with him. There's like a trilogy, The Recovery. I did that. I was in the second and third one. And then we did The First Harvest. I was there. A Life Taken. I played a character named Jojo. I can't think of the name of the project. It's but that one was really fun too. And yeah, I've done quite a few things with him. He really started me off. Really, he got me my first role.
Nice. Great way to start and get into the business, because I'm sure for all of us, we got a passion for horror at all different points in life. Some different generations, because if you weren't there for the great 70s, the great 80s of horror, and of course the days of Hammer horror and all that stuff, there's so many different great decades in horror. And let's reintroduce, welcoming back the princess of horror. She has been in so many films already, and she's only 10 years old, if you can believe that. Miss Delilah, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. Like I said, it's been a year since we all last saw one another, so it's kind of a cool homecoming. As a matter of fact, I think you just wrapped tonight. You're like the busiest actress in the world. Tell us a little bit about your upcoming character as well.
Well, I'm excited to finally play for my and annoying. Also really excited. Well, that came off.
Take your time. It's okay.
I'm excited to work with Agros. It's always
Right on. You're kind of coming in and out, so if it persists, you might want to back out, come back in. That way we can hear everything you're saying, because it's. I know how the Wi-Fi can be in different spots. So especially here in Nebraska, one day it's great, the next day it's absolute crap. But we're so happy to have you back coming for Return of the Corn Zombies. And we have the great David J. Paul with us tonight. I've been trying to get this man on the show for a while now. We've kind of messaged back and forth, but I've been busy. He's been busy. But we finally cornered him. Here he is. How are you doing tonight, man?
Well, absolutely. For what you said before, finally, we get to talk. I knew it was going to happen. So it just goes to show. With you, a lot of great people from this movie. I would like to say that you remember I told you before that I was doing a TV show?
Yes.
So we just wrapped that in Vermont last week. So we were really excited about the film that cast most haunted castles and what we're going to do is wait project, and we're showing the 3 major network television stations to pick it up. So,
oh, congratulations, man! That's fantastic.
Thank you. And then I got a movie coming out called Devil Tonight. It's going to come out on DVD and Blu-ray. I was a role in the movie with Kevin Sorbo, Daniel Baldwin, Eric Roberts. It's a mid-time fantasy horror film. Last watch and out everywhere. And then tomorrow, I'm actually back on set playing a character named Danny. I told Dolphin Origins. So I got a lot of stuff going for me right now, thank God. But
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's always a blessing, both light and dark, to be busy. So that's what we hope for in this business. You know, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I have 3 films to film in September alone, and a con tour. So it's so funny because my Morgrot Entertainment brothers, I told them, I said, you guys are going to have to end up putting a mailbox down there for me because we're doing like every con in Tennessee between now and November. It's ridiculous. But I love it, though.
I got to tell you, in Return of the Corn Zombie, character gone. So that's where the safe haven is for everybody.
Okay, right on. And that's one of the things that we're going to kind of delve into a little bit tonight is kind of how I kind of figure that some of the characters that y'all are playing are somehow either connected, maybe you're traveling together, because as we kind of talked about in the beginning of the show, you know, in this kind of a world, some people, I mean, it's not really safe to travel alone, you know, unless you're just like a superhero. So I'm assuming that some of your characters probably have some sort of knowing each other, maybe you're traveling together. So I really kind of like this idea, as does everybody in the Morgrot universe, because I get messages about it all the time. Like, man, what's this going to be like? You know, what's coming up? What's happening?
I mean, I could give you a sneak peek right there. Chloe and Delilah play sisters, and they travel together.
See, there we go. Right on. So that's got to be absolutely terrifying. So how are you preparing for that, Chloe? Like, what kind of like mindset are you working on to bring this character to life?
So with the idea that her main focus is to protect her sister because her little sister is with her in this group of strangers that they've kind of collected on the way. I'm kind of taking the idea because I'm the youngest of 5 siblings, or I have 4 other siblings. So I'm kind of taking the mindset of that. Like if I was stuck somewhere with them, one, thinking how they would be treating me as the younger sibling, but also I'm really close with my sister. So like if we were in that situation, how would my walls that I built up be different than if I was alone, just protecting myself? It's kind of like what I've been thinking about a lot.
Awesome. So you're not necessarily taking a page out of Zombieland. You know, the goal is not to get to a theme park.
Oh no.
Although that was absolutely hilarious, it just to me was kind of hokey. So I like the idea that, you know, you guys are traveling together. Mm-hmm. So how about you, Delilah? How are you working towards, you know, getting yourself into this kind of mindset as opposed to the first Corn Zombies film?
Well, I'm to like stuff. I'm prepared to like think how I feel if I was and I'm trying to try to be as much like I'm so sorry. What I'm trying to say is I'm trying to prepare. I'm just trying to. Sorry, that was really stupid.
I mean, it's got to be a little bit different, you know, obviously from the first one, that this time you're thinking more of survival. Yeah. So you're learning how to defend yourself from these nightmarish things. And not even knowing why they're there in the first place. As far as I know, because obviously I don't know everything. Yes, Chris. Chris says, is it just me or is Dee's audio garbled and cutting out? Yes, it is. We're definitely, I mean, I'm used to it, but like I said, if you want it to be a little bit clearer, maybe try to back out and then come back into the interview. That would be the easiest way to solve that. You know, that way everybody out there can hear you for sure. And okay. So Chris, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to bring them up, Chris and Kelsey, because they're on the exact opposite side of Chloe and Delilah.
Yeah, we're kind of dating.
Sort of.
It's hot, it's heavy, it's what the kids like, you know what I'm saying?
And to try to be doing that in this type of world, in some people's minds, I think is insane. But I think it probably also helps mentally as you're trying to deal with the dangers of this new world. Because it's not without its challenges, I'm sure.
Yeah, and as homesteaders, like our whole thing is kind of protecting what we have and standing our ground, I guess.
And honestly, it's just good to have someone that you're in cahoots with.
Yeah, trust is the operative thing in any type of zombie apocalypse, because I'm sure and I've said it so many times, there's characters, which we found out about Mel Heflin's character, that she's definitely more about herself in this one. As she said that everyone will love to hate this character in the film. So
No, I think I got the same thing. I think Kelsey's going to get the same reaction.
Right on.
I
Okay.
mean, she's playing the complete opposite of who she played in Disremembered. I mean, right, Kelsey?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm kind of a badass in Corn Zombies. I'm excited.
Right on. Do you think you have a weapon of choice? What would you choose to be cutting everybody down with?
That's a good question. Out of the weapons that I currently actually own, I would have to go with the Morningstar.
Nice. So definitely more on the melee weapon kind of style.
Yeah, that or revolvers are always good.
They are, but they're loud because corn zombies, or any zombie for that matter, I mean, they're kind of led by sound.
Right.
So definitely that first choice is really good. What would you use, Chris?
I'd have to go with the Morningstar as well. Either that or, just a good old fashioned guitar. Right to
Guitar.
yeah, just hit him with the guitar right to the dome.
Be a
They're
Probably.
they're sturdy.
And what model would you use?
Whatever's handy, but preferably cheap because I'm not made of money.
Well, I was going to say, with an acoustic guitar, you pretty much only get one shot with it.
Yeah.
But, something like a Gibson SG, you could probably get multiple kills with. So, especially since it's the 70s, right? Delilah, what would be your weapon of choice to defend yourself against these horrific beings?
An axe. Just
An axe.
something-
Right on. Like the small one?
Yeah, like the
More like a Viking one. Yes. Fantastic. It's quick, it's easy, it's quiet. It leaves a great blood splatter. It's fantastic. How about you, Chloe?
Well, my sister took my idea, which is an axe, like a little axe. I recently went axe throwing, and so I feel like I could do some damage at this point.
That's like a regular pastime here in old Nebraska. We have quite a few of those axe throwing places. Don't ask me why they're attached to bars, but they are. So, a couple of Jim Beams or a couple of, Svedkas later. I don't know if you can hit so well, but if you go there and just get some food and have a soda, you could definitely practice, and it's a lot of fun. Oh my goodness. So the Curse of Chris is back. He says dwarf tossing works also. Now that image is forever ingrained in my head, of picking up a little person and tossing them in the air. How Mel Brooks of you, sir. That's fantastic. All right, David, what would be your weapon of choice to fend off the undead?
I like knives. So I would like to have two knives in each hand and slice away. But other than that, shotgun. The power of it.
The other night, a shotgun was definitely a favorite because it does maximum damage, not to mention knocking them back quite a bit. But what a lot of people don't realize, I think, it's not as easy as movies make it look to actually put a knife into a skull. It takes a lot of force to do that. So that would be very cool to see you do. I think that would be absolutely killer. And as a matter of fact, we're going to take a quick look at the new updated trailer teaser for Return of the Corn Zombies before we get into the next segment. Check that shit out.
While we continue to monitor this developing story, we have nothing new to report since communication went silent. The last transmission received was for everyone to shelter in place and travel only if life or limb are threatened. We will continue bringing you the latest information until it is no longer safe to do so. This is Steve Romeo, hoping I am not signing off for the last time using these words. Do not eat the corn.
I just love the grittiness and that epic scene of us all coming down there. I cannot wait to see the great Doug Bayless reprising himself as the army or soldier zombie who now has a backstory as well. Don't know if you know that, SJ, but he does. But that's one of the things we talked about on Wednesday was the new locations. And one of the questions I have for you, SJ, is do some of these locations that you guys have picked, is it really that dark and dingy? Because I mean, the scenes in that trailer are so epic. I just absolutely love it. It gives you that feeling. If you want to kind of talk about that for a little bit.
Well, Farmer City has been really our go-to for a lot of these downtown scenes. I mean, they've been so cooperative. They shut down streets. And I think Mia was talking about it on Wednesday, was it? How you guys are like tormenting the townspeople, chasing the cars and that, and especially walking into the subway. And
Yep, Subway was the best time ever. I'll never forget it.
yeah, I mean, they've been fantastic. I mean, when we filmed Attack of the Corn Zombies, when we were doing the outside scenes in the street, there were people actually setting up lawn chairs to watch us film. And that was really, to me, that was really cool. I mean, a few of them actually came up to the actors and wanted pictures with them. And that really, that was cool. Now, the fairgrounds is something new. The house, the homestead, David's group actually came across that. That is actually going to be kind of referenced as the house that you saw in the first one that they kind of took over.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that kind of explains why it's the same house, because David and his merry band of people just kind of took it over.
Misfits. Right? No, that's awesome.
David, I think you might have to wear that hat when we film. I tell you, man, I'm digging that hat.
Okay. You got it, boss.
Kind of reminds me of the one that I'm using for the film Death Bike as I'm playing a sheriff. And no, not with the makeup. So we have good hats in common, sir. That's fantastic. I love it.
Actually, I think David's character is the only one that doesn't have a weapon. His weapon is his mind.
Ooh.
Steve doesn't like me. That's why.
Is it an evil mind?
Maybe.
Sorry, I always go straight to Dr. Evil in those moments. Can't help it. So let me see. JD says, Reaper, you're asking everyone the question. What are you doing to prepare for the next corn zombies? Yep. I don't know if he's late on that, but we kind of touched on that already. So if you catch the replay, you'll definitely get that answered. Everyone's kind of getting in a different frame of mind. The one thing I was wondering, has anyone, other than watching the first Attack of the Corn Zombies, have you kind of watched any other zombie films to draw some influence from? Let's start with Chris and Kelsey there.
Just a lot of The Walking Dead, but only like the first 2 seasons.
Right. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, just a whole lot of that for us, I think.
I mean, that is a good reference point, because those first 2 seasons are, to me, are more iconic than, you know, as seasons went on, there was so much character development and backstory. I mean, holy moly. I mean, unless you read the comic series, you got that. But even in the comic series, I kind of felt like there was more action all the way through. So how about you, Delilah? Have you been kind of watching anything new to kind of prepare?
Not new, per se. Very old movie.
Right on, right on. I know I've been revisiting, of course, Night of the Living Dead, but at the same token, I have to watch Return of the Living Dead also. I feel like you get both of best of both worlds with that. For movements, especially as a zombie, but that's really cool. Nice. How about you, Chloe?
I have also been kind of catching back up with The Walking Dead, and kind of like the new series, because it was last year, like 2 years ago, that I finally watched The Walking Dead, and my mom and I finally got into it, and we watched like until season 10 over the summer. From season 1 to 10, we became obsessed, and we understood why it was so popular. And so thinking back on that a lot. And also, I know when I was younger, without watching the show, I've kind of gone back to these videos I used to watch that were the like race thing that they did for The Walking Dead, where it was like fake actor zombies chasing real people. I'm kind of looking on that a little bit, because that's like real reactions to zombies, and I kind of like taking from real reactions as well. So it's kind of interesting to delve into that specific world like that.
Yeah, because I mean, you're getting legit reactions from people, because they're like, "Oh, we're gonna do the zombie run. Oh, it's gonna be so much fun. No one's gonna hurt us." Then they see them, and it's like a whole new thing. That's why I've always said some of these escape rooms that are so popular, you know, in the States, that I think there should be like a zombie one, because you're a little bit more close quarters. You don't have the outside to try to escape, and I think that would be really cool.
That's always been a dream. I've always wanted to work in like an escape room as like a live action type thing. I always thought that was so fun. That was before I started getting into movies. I always wanted to do that, but you know, maybe it's always an option.
For sure. I mean, you could always moonlight if you got some time on your hands. I think it was Vegas, if I remember correctly, had a Saw version of an escape room, and you're like, you have to use your mind to figure out how to get out and all that stuff. So, yeah, that would be very cool. Absolutely. All right, David, how about you? Have you been watching anything besides the first, Attack of the Corn Zombies to prepare for this?
Well, no. I'm just reading the story of what is in front of me. I'm trying to put everything into my mind, right? Just go through the story constantly, and I take notes, and I just try and figure out, what feels good. So I work on the fly, and it feels good. I write that. So I'm kind of and where it feels good, I just take it from there.
Nice. And if you're a little bit more of like the villainous type, I can tell you, most people tend to gravitate towards those, not so nice folks. It's almost to the point where I can remember in The Walking Dead when they introduced, and I cannot remember his name right now, which is killing me, but the guy with the baseball bat.
Negan,
thank you. He became the most popular villain, I think, in TV history, which is so weird because when you see an interview with him, he's the nicest freaking guy you'll ever meet. You know what I mean? To like really pull off that villain, it was just so opposite of his true self. So you might actually end up being a favorite there, David. You don't know. I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Right now, I'm so used to playing villain roles right now. That's almost second nature, kind of scary. So I think that's the reason why when I'm trying to do the character on my own, I'm like, oh man, I think I just scared myself a little bit. So it's kind of,
is that what kind of drew you to the character originally?
I'm sorry?
Would you say? I said, is that kind of what drew you to wanting to do this character originally?
Yeah, so I love villain roles, and I've been so many.
Me too.
Including it just feels, like if you're a good guy, you only way the audience kind of okay, what's gonna happen to this guy? Gonna be the good dude or girl, and not that much surprise, right? The villain, I can be good up to a certain point, like which I'm just as bad as hell. After that, so levels of acting. I've been used to that over a year and a half. I've been playing strictly villain the whole time, and I'm trying to play a good guy, but sucked me right back into it. So I'll do it. So
right, it's like that inner battle. It's like, I'm a good guy, I'm an asshole. I'm a good guy, I'm an asshole. It just kind of comes out naturally. And I feel that because, everybody knows me as just being like the gentle giant. I'm about the nicest person you'll meet, but it's like the moment I can flip that switch and be a completely different person on screen. So I definitely feel that. I think that's why I'm playing a lot of the roles that I got coming up, especially in the Chainsaw Sisters. That's going to be probably the most maniacal role I'll ever play, both psychologically and horrifically.
Well, there's actually a movie in November where I tried so hard to lure this one director to put it perfect. Then just in a split second, you know what, Dave? You're playing killer. I'm like, oh, damn. Okay. It's crazy.
Right. And sometimes that's just how it happens. The more different roles that you do, and people are going to see that, and whatever shines best. I mean, if that's what it is, then that's what it is. And there's nothing wrong with that, because there are some bad guys that play some of these roles, and I'm just like, that is just not believable. You know what I mean? I go back to the great Sid Haig when he was in the old Pam Grier films, and he was playing henchmen's. And that's kind of who I got kind of like a course on how to be a good bad guy. I go to him, and of course, you know, all of the great mobster films, you know, anybody from Pesci to, you know, Robert, all them guys. So nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Super cool. Let's see here. Yeah. Cody says, I'm going to be playing my first role as a serial killer as well. That's right. Cody is going to be playing a super cool serial killer in the upcoming Chainsaw Sisters as well. Definitely looking forward to that. Here says, and so many people can relate to that because so many people have to bottle the old ego demon at least once in their life. So someone somewhere watching the film will totally get the whole I'm a jerk, I'm not a jerk bottle because it's an inner battle type of thing. Absolutely. And that is one thing I wanted to kind of ask everybody. This is for everybody. You know, is this kind of like a challenge? Obviously not for David, because he's kind of used to being this, you know, devious individual. But do you feel like your role in this film is going to be challenging in a way? We'll start with Chris and Kelsey there.
I think we're the good guys. So no.
That's honest. You know, very cool. So you've kind of bonded with your roles as kind of how you are in daily life, right?
I mean, I'm not sure what you mean. Like,
did you feel like the role is going to be a little bit of a challenge?
I mean, for mine, I think it'll be pretty fun, and I don't know if it'll necessarily be a challenge. I'm excited to play someone who's kind of demanding and like, I don't know, like just in charge. So
nice. Does that kind of feel come easy for you, or is that going to be tough?
I think it'll be pretty easy, but I also, the thing is I play a lot of like characters that are kind of the opposite of that. So I'm excited to get a chance to play that.
No, that's great. And you know, as so many different actors and actresses I've talked to, sometimes people feel like the role is like made for them, and some people go for roles that are kind of out of their comfort zone. Is that kind of how it is for you, Delilah? Do you feel like this is a little bit different, not something you've done before?
It's different. I like the vibe character. I usually don't. I'm always. I like this.
Nice. Right on. How about you, Chloe?
So I like to think I'm a lot different than Kathleen because she's so hard-headed and stubborn. But realistically, I think she's like the voice in my head all the time. So I don't think it's going to be that hard to kind of step into it, just because I think some of the comebacks she hits people with, they're so like crazy. But I feel like that's something I would say in my head, but I would never say it out loud. So I guess that's kind of where that differs. And I think it'll be fun to tune into kind of that more badass side of myself with her.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because, you know, myself, sometimes I have to put myself back into a memory or, you know, from ages ago to draw, you know, some of that emotion that I would need at that particular moment. So being able to do a role like this and unlock, like you said, something that's never truly on the surface and actually comes out, I think that's just going to make it even that more badass for your character. That's awesome. Yep, I totally figured that out, and thank you for letting us know. SJ lost the connection, so he'll be back in. And Kelsey says, challenge accepted. Nice. And of course, Chris said, SJ cut out and is rewriting the script to give Kelsey a 6-page monologue to memorize now as a challenge. I mean, what's wrong with that? Some of us love to talk, you know. But I'm sure she would nail it if she did. So nothing wrong with that. So there has been a subliminal message running across the bottom of the screen this entire time. And as a matter of fact, it happens to be the current Indiegogo for Return of the Corn Zombies with some seriously awesome perks. And I was saddened, horrified at the fact that none of the male survivors that are trying to survive in this crazy world of the Corn Zombie universe, is what I'm now calling it, no one wants to feed them, but yet everyone has fed the female characters. So I have 2 of the male characters, and I would like to get your perspective on this. This is the time in front of all of Facebook and YouTube land for you to try and see if somebody is willing to help a brother out. How do you feel about this, Chris? If he's there. Okay, there he is.
We're hungry and we need food, and that would be nice. Thank you.
Do you have a particular dish in mind, seeing as the great Christopher Kaler has reminded us of Feed Chris Quiche hashtag?
I'm down.
I think we're going to hashtag that.
It better be some good quiche, man. That's all I'm saying. But I'm down with that. You know, us Chris's have to stay together.
Hell yeah. What would you take? What would be your food of choice?
Just quiche is fine. Quiche is fine. Kelsey says shepherd's pie, but I'm trying to make it easy. The more of us, the better. You know what I'm saying? The easier it is to get that meal.
Hell yeah. What would you prefer, David? Let's go ahead and let you talk to the Morgrat universe for your plea to get fed for this film.
I would take.
Nice. And what would be your dinner of choice?
Steak.
See, still, you know, at the core, someone who wants flesh. In this case, it's a steak. Hell yeah. I mean, these guys are hungry. You know, they're working hard. You know, they're in this world where they have to run from me. And in order for them to be able to do that, you're going to have to feed them something. So those perks are still available at the Indiegogo campaign. Like I said, I got the correct one this time, so yay me. All right, very good. I accidentally forgot the little hashtags or the whatever, all the little things, the slashes and all that. So we got it right this time. It's down there at the bottom. Please, please consider feeding these guys who need to continue their dastardly plans or helping others in some cases. But actually, though, that is another question I do have. So for Kelsey, what would your meal of choice be in the midst of an apocalypse?
Ideally, maybe like some schnitzel and Jaeger sauce or something, but I don't know if you could get that during an apocalypse. It'd be kind of a tough ask.
Yeah, that would be kind of tough. You know, I would love a good brat in the midst of an apocalypse. So I don't know if we can get that. Anne says, no quiche, no steak, but there is a perk to get your name on a can of food. Exactly, folks. We're joking with you. Although, wouldn't that be something if somebody whipped up a plate of either one of those things and sent it to you? That would be utterly amazing, and we would have to get that screenshotted. And before we ask the next few cast members, there are some really cool perks this weekend as well that I just caught about 2 hours before we went live. And these are actually, I think they're so cool. This is something that I think some of you out there in the Morgrot universe and those that support indie horror from the indie horror community, named guy in a car perk. How cool would that be? And most importantly, who would not want some signed corn? You can't tell me you don't like corn. I thought that was, I had to tell Anne that I thought these were just some great ideas. And this is half the reason people have been contributing the way they have been, not just because the fact that the first film was super amazing, which means this one's going to be even more over the top amazing, but just some really cool ideas how you out there can support the film and be a part of it at the same time. Just amazing ideas. Here's another couple ones I think you guys might like. I don't know, it's either your name, okay, it is your name on a food can. That means officially you're in the frickin' film and you didn't even have to say shit. I mean, what a great perk to have. Or this one is just awesome to me. Named gal victim. You might get to be eaten by the Reaper zombie himself. How fun would that be? So these are some of the really cool perks out there at the Indiegogo campaign that can help you be a part of this film. And I really think that we're making some film history here at Acrostar Films. Let's see here. Michelle Hefner says, an experienced D will never know. What? Okay. Oh, I think it's because of the previous. Chris said, can't eat a name, Anne, unless your name is Candy. What? Maybe that'll give somebody an idea out there. I don't know. We shall see. Oh, you know what? Austin knows me too well because I love Diet Coke. Me and Diet Coke have a romance going on. And it says, which is more honorable than finding your name on a Coke bottle? That would be pretty cool. See, there's some Coke right there. Think about that. That's a hell of an idea. So many different ways you guys can get some really cool stuff and support this film at the same time. Cody says, wait a minute. No steak is a sin. I'm usually all for sin, but no. Steak is definitely allowed. But, you know, it often makes me wonder, though. What if a corn zombie went and ate a cow? We've seen many times in different shows and films where if they can't find humans, they attack whatever animals are around. So maybe you don't want that steak, David. It might turn you into a corn zombie.
I don't want steak.
He changed his mind. It's off the table, people. Get this man some beans. Let's do it. No, never mind. Apparently, that's a danger zone as well, which was so interesting on Wednesday to hear Remya say, I want beans. It's good for you. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, whoever's bunking with you is going to be pissed off. Oh no. And of course, Chris says, bring back that tossed dwarf and a tossed salad. Not sure which way to take that, sir, but kudos to you for bringing it up. I love it. So, all right. Definitely, guys, this is being filmed in the fall. And we're looking at, I believe, unfortunately, SJ is not with us, but a 2025 release. And it could be the New Year's gift that all of you awesome indie horror fans out there can get. You're definitely going to enjoy it. So thank you guys for joining us tonight. It's been a blast getting to know your characters. And I'm looking forward to working with all of you. I don't know if everyone's going to be there at the same. I'm assuming it's probably everybody at the same time, but still, looking forward to working with you. It's going to be a friggin' blast. This is the time for everyone that thank you, everybody out there in the attic section that showed up on a Friday night and choosing Reapers Underground for your entertainment here at the Morgrot Entertainment Network. For those that have tuned in, fans of yours and people that don't know you, what is the lasting message you want to leave them with? We'll start with Chris and Kelsey there and move all the way around.
That's a tough one. I don't know. I guess just keep an eye out because we're gonna be doing some cool stuff coming up in September.
Check out Freebase Propane.
That's your shameless plug.
Yeah, shameless plug, self plug. But yeah, also like Kelsey said.
Yes, we're going to be doing some cool shit in September. How about you, David?
Definitely stay tuned. Return of the Corn Zombies is badass. One of the best zombie movies. And just looking forward to meeting everybody. And hopefully we get to meet you guys.
Most excellent. Delilah?
Yes, be on the lookout for the film. You will not be disappointed to watch it. Also, please, for the love of Evidence World, feed them.
We're going to hashtag that forever, I swear. Feed these men. There's not that they're good people. Well, you know, maybe some of us are not good people, but still, they're human. They're not trying to kill anybody. Well, you'll just have to watch the film to find out. And Chloe.
Definitely stay tuned because we have a lot in store. It's bigger and better. It's going to be amazing. Definitely check out the Indiegogo for this film. And then I also, speaking of Paul Allen earlier, we have Where You Are filming the sequel to The First Harvest, Sister Sullivan, and that has an Indiegogo out as well. And so, yeah, everything's just really exciting. Things are coming up. I'm really excited to work with everyone.
Hell yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to meet everybody. I think it's going to be a good time. You won't recognize me. That's one of the things Anne always teases me about.
With
the right. So, all righty. Thank you all so much out there in the Morgrot universe. You guys are awesome. Thank you for tuning in. And any kind of support that you lend, not just for myself, but these fine actors and actresses as well. But don't forget, everybody, tomorrow it's time to sin. That's right, the goddamn program tomorrow night. If you are ready to kick off the party in the most unholy of ways and get ready to laugh, because we got a hell of a show for you tomorrow night. Myself and my two co-pilots on that show. It's gonna be insane. 8 o'clock CST, don't forget. And again, thank you guys for joining me tonight and all of the new cast for Return of the Corn Zombies. It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to seeing you all in September. And again, if you do have to work tomorrow, you're starting to lay it down, and you got visions of zombies coming after you, trying to bite your ass, just remember, always stay heavy.